What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here, and I want you to focus on that beautiful, big gold belt, otherwise known as the World Championship Wrestling title. Do you remember back in the 90s when Bobby Heenan, first Ric Flair left WCW? And do you remember back when Ric Flair left? First WCW made a ugly belt. Actually, voila, there that is. Now let's go back to the pretty one. So, do you remember when WCW made the ugly belt, but also if you watched WWF television at the time, you would have noticed that Bobby Heenan had somehow gotten his hands on the World Championship Wrestling's belt. Now, if you were like me, of course I'm 24, and if you were like me if you were like me and you were watching YouTube clips of the 90s era, then when I first saw Bobby Heenan with the belt, I immediately wanted to know how he could have come to acquire it. Well, I'm going to tell you that story. This all starts with a man by the name of Jim Herd. Lots of pictures. But let's go with this one. Jim Herd was, for some odd reason, he was the head booker of WCW. Now, Ric Flair got tired of this. Come on, load. I forget the exact... I honestly think Rick was... Because Rick was tired of Herd, Herd was tired of Flair, and Herd was trying to out-Flair. In fact, Herd did a whole bunch of stupid stuff to Flair to try to get him to go to leave the company. Okay. Now that I've set the stage, we go to let's see, he made his debut in 1992. Okay. So, Flair left, but that doesn't answer the question of why Bobby Heenan and the World Wrestling Federation had the belt. Well, back in the territory days, when you were the top dog, when you had the belt, when you were champ, you put down a deposit on the belt, making it legally yours. It's no longer the company's property. It is the person's. It's the person who has the belt that's the property of the person who has it. Confusing, I know. Well, I don't know if I can find image. Bobby Heenan with WCW title. Come on. I hit enter. Okay. So that makes a good picture. So that is how Bobby Heenan was able to get the belt. However, Herd decided that, it was okay for Rick to go, but it wasn't okay for the belt to go. So Jim Herd took Ric Flair to court. Now, Jim Herd was a Pizza Hut executive who knew nothing about wrestling. Courtesy, and you can find multiple examples, like the Ding Dongs, that were a real tag team. What other examples? I can't think of anything else right offhand. So, Flair, well, WCW took Flair to court. And the judge basically told Herd that you're not going to get your belt back until you give him his money back. And I think, if I remember right, Flair put down like $25,000 for the belt. So, in short, well, not in short, So, Flair and that's exactly why, there was blurring of the belt and everything because of legal issues, and so Flair got his deposit, and WCW got their belt. It went on to be the major title until 2001, when in that same year, not only was WCW bought out, but ECW was bought out, but ECW was always in Vince's pocket anyway. So, and it would go on to be a mainstay in WWE until Randy and Cena had their... Well, there was the Undisputed Championship in 2001. Yeah. Because I know I'm rambling, but I want to get things right. Because Jericho beat Rock and Austin in the same night. Then it shortly came back. Then Triple H was handed the World Heavyweight title because Brock got drafted to SmackDown and he was champ at the time. So they had to bring, which left Raw without a champion. So they brought back the Big Gold Belt. And the Big Gold Belt would be retired when who was the last to hold both titles? I think it was Bryan. But, yeah. But well, it would be retired when Cena and Orton had their title unification, and then the Big Gold Belt would be dropped altogether for the foreseeable future. So the Big Gold Belt had a pretty nice run. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. As always, I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.